Hi everyone, this is Ish from Height Tech Marketing. Today we're going to guide you through how to set up your Y70 display. First thing you're going to want to make sure to do is connect the hardware components. So that's going to be your internal USB 2.0 header to your available port on the motherboard, the SATA power connected to your power supply, as well as the display port out connected to your graphics output. Once you have all that set up, we can then download and install Height Nexus software. And once you power on Nexus, fire it up, this is the screen you're going to be met with. Now, the three options presented here are going to be log in if you already have a Height account, register for a new Height account if you'd like to, but for today we're just going to continue as guest and proceed with the setup. Here we have the performance tuning section, and we have a bevy of options available here to optimize between efficiency and quality. Optimized presets are selected here, but for today's demo purposes, we're going to crank it all the way to the maximum quality for each setting. Then we're going to hit finish. Here, it's going to ask us if we want to enable or disable video backgrounds. It's up to you. For today, we're just going to keep it all enabled. And so, as soon as you plug it in, Nexus is going to realize, oh, hey, you have a Y70 Touch installed. So, let's get your screen ready to be touched. We can get started, and it's going to go through 3 steps here. The first is going to be rotation. So as you can see out of the box, Y70 display ships in a landscape orientation. So once you click on rotate, Nexus is going to do its thing, and we're going to have the Y70 display in portrait mode now. Next, we're going to have the calibration. And so here we're going to tell Windows that, hey, Y70 uses a touchscreen display. Once you see the text on the Y70 display, just tap it with your finger, and that's going to set the calibration. Hit next one more time, and we're going to disable the default Windows Touch interactions. So what this will do is disable Windows baked-in gestures. That way you have an unfiltered Nexus Touch UI experience. Click disable, it's going to do its thing, and then we hit next. One more time, it's going to ask you about video wallpapers. Again, we're just going to keep it as default set to on. Hit finish, and we should then load into the Nexus Touch UI. Here, on the left side, you're going to be presented with a live preview of everything that's happening on your Y70 display. Below that, we have a button that adds new pages to your Y70 display, in addition to the 2 that it already ships with. As for the overall layout, up top to the right side, we have all of your widgets. So here we have the media widget, available in a host of sizes, which is available above the live widget preview. So it's going to show you a multitude of sizes that are available for the widget you've chosen. And then right below that, you're going to have the add button to add a widget to the home screen. Please do keep in mind that all widgets currently go to the grid spot from top to bottom, left to right, just like your typical smartphone operating system. As far as how to interact with the screen, we have a few basic functions. First is going to be tapping on an element to interact with it or execute it. Second, beyond that, we have tap and hold. If you tap and hold on certain elements, it will activate additional functionalities and features. For example, on the media widget, you can tap and hold on the widget to activate immersive mode, which is going to extend that widget across your entire screen. And then for general UI, you can swipe left and right on the Y70 display to navigate between the different pages you have set. We have the drop-down menu, so if you swipe down from the top, it's going to bring up Control Center. In Control Center, we're going to have a few options for you here. The first on the left is a slider to control the brightness of the display itself. In the middle, we have the input settings, so you can adjust your microphone input level here. And then on the far right, this slider controls your volume output. Below that, we have a few quick access features where you can enable or disable your Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, airplane mode to disable all networking, and then Ethernet connectivity. Beyond this, we've built in tap and hold functionality on some of these features. So if you tap and hold on the volume slider, for example, it's going to bring you to the output screen, where you now have the availability to select which output device you're currently using, what the master volume level is for that output device, and then below that, we have an audio mixer right here. So you can adjust your volume level per app without having to dive into your Windows menu and settings. And then from any point in the Nexus Touch UI, you could swipe up from the bottom to go home. Themes are an additional way to customize your Y70 display. As you can see, we have a curated preset of both animated and static themes to choose from. And if your tastes are outside of this curated preset, we give you the ability to do that as well. If you click on Pick a File, it's going to open up the Windows File Explorer, and you can select any media file that's supported, and Nexus will automatically detect 3 colors for the foreground that match that media to create the perfect theme for you. You can either continue with the preset colors, or you can customize them yourself further down. If you do choose to customize them, you can scroll down to the very bottom of the Themes panel, and as you can see, we have 3 different sections here for you to choose 3 different foreground colors: the primary, the accent, and the text color, as well as an opacity slider for each layer. After Themes, we have a few additional options for you. If you go into the Settings tab, there's a few things here. First is the application setting itself. So this is to enable and disable Nexus Touch. If you toggle this on, the Y70 display is then going to be taken over by Nexus Touch UI, which is going to be our user interface, the way we've envisioned Nexus Touch to be used with Y70 display. But if for whatever reason you'd like to use it just like any regular monitor within Windows, you could toggle this off, and Y70 display is going to function just like another monitor that's plugged into your system. We also have the ability for you to go through the configuration again in case you've made any changes to your hardware, and that means you can rotate Y70 display again. You can ensure that it's recognized as a primary touch input again, as well as disabling the Windows default touch interactions to make sure it's not obstructing with Nexus Touch in any way. Lastly, there is a toggle to enable and disable the display entirely. So if you want to turn the Y70 display off completely, you could toggle this and the display will power itself off. Now please do note that this is currently in beta, and we do plan to have more display power controls available to you soon. Let's take a quick opportunity here to go through all the widgets to quickly explain what each of them does. The media widget allows you to control media playback on your Windows device through any application that's currently using your volume output or your input. Then we have the Twitch chat widget. This one you can use to view a live feed of any content creator who's streaming on Twitch on your Y70 display itself. You can either have it expand and take over your entire screen, or you can use multiple of these widgets to see live chats from multiple content creators at the same time. After that, we have the OBS widget. Here you can start and stop recording, as well as change scenes quickly using your Y70 display. If you wish to have some more fun with Y70 display, we do have Block Game, which is inspired by other popular titles in this genre. We have shortcuts, which allow you to quickly launch applications. And so this is going to automatically scan your system for apps that you're currently using, and it'll actively populate this view with applications that are launched frequently, as well as recognize Steam and any games you have installed there. Calculator is also another one. Anytime you want to crunch some numbers real quick on your Y70 display. Gallery is something we support to allow you to showcase any pictures, something you want to use to personalize your Y70 display. Here we also have a host of options for sizing. And then furthermore, you can choose between single image mode or rotating through a folder of images or media. Yes, it also does live video playback if you choose so. Weather is something that's available. All you have to do is set your preferred temperature details, so whether it's Celsius or Fahrenheit, and then you plug in whatever location you want, and it's going to pull the data for the weather in that location right on your Y70 display. Performance, this is something we're really proud about, is allowing you to show and use in real time performance statistics and data from your hardware and put that directly on your Y70 display. It's a highly configurable widget. You can choose from your CPU, GPU, RAM, as well as storage, and a bunch more coming down the road with future updates. And then we have a host of different visual elements and styles for you to choose from. Screen time is a nifty little tool we've added where it tracks the amount of time you've spent throughout your current session with different applications in Windows. And so you can put that on your Y70 display, and it's going to actively change and display the amount of time you spent in the window that's currently in focus. Clock is another one. If you want to quickly glance at the time without having to hit the Windows key to pop open the taskbar or whip out your phone, you can have it right on your Y70 display. We have a few different sizes and aesthetic preferences to choose from, as well as the colors are going to be automatically matched to your theme. URL, it's basically a quick launch shortcut. You set the website, you tap on it, it's going to launch that URL for you. Emoji keyboard's another nifty one. Sometimes you want to have an emoji on hand, but you can't exactly whip out your phone or your tablet or other smart device that has an emoji keyboard. So we built one into Y70 display. Lighting is a new one we've added recently to help control your RGB lighting ecosystem directly through Y70 display. A few others we're currently working on is sticky notes, a 3D audio visualizer, IFTTT integration, a Google Calendar widget, as well as the ability to custom program RSS feeds to display directly on your Y70 display. Again, coming further down the road with future updates. That's all for today. Thank you for joining us. Again, we briefly went through how to set up and install Height Nexus software, how to set up your Y70 display, and how to best make use of Nexus Touch UI and all the widgets we have available to get the most out of your experience with the Y70 Touch. The modern aesthetic has been upgraded. Go out and experience a Y70 Touch today.